Today we are going to set something. Why letting go feels so hard, even when you know it's right for you. Hello, and welcome back to From the Therapy Room Psychology of Mind and Body. I'm Jyoti, your host. I'm a clinical counseling psychotherapist, and I'm really glad that you're here. You're welcome to follow this space and stay connected for such deep conversations. This is a space where we gently explore the inner landscapes of human mind, where psychology meets lived experiences and where the stories we carry inside finally find a language. In this podcast, we explore the psychology behind everyday human emotional experiences, the things we often struggle to understand within ourselves, but feel very deeply in our day to day life. There is a very specific kind of pain that doesn't look like pain from the outside. I mean, you are still showing up, you're still functioning, you're still talking to people, but somewhere quietly, persistently, something is still holding you. A person, a relationship, a memory, a version of your life that you know is not right for you anymore. And yet, you haven't been able to let it go. Sometimes it's not even that you want them back, it's that something inside you hasn't finished feeling what it needed to feel. There is an incompleteness, like a sentence that was never fully spoken, or a goodbye that didn't really land, or an emotion that didn't get witnessed. If you have ever felt stuck between what you know and what you feel, stay with me. This is not as simple as just move on. In the therapy room, this is where people often begin. They don't come confused about the situation, they come confused about themselves. They say things like, I understand everything logically. I know this is not healthy. I know I deserve better. But why can't I let go? And underneath that question, there is something even deeper, a quiet shame. What's wrong with me? And I always say this gently, nothing is wrong with you. You're not weak. You're not stuck because you lack strength. You are stuck because something inside you still needs something from this attachment. Let me take you into a real moment. A woman came into therapy perfectly calm on the surface, but there was a kind of emotional exhaustion in her voice. She said, I don't even like him anymore. I can't I can see all the red flags. I know he is not the right person for me. But I still can't detach myself. So I asked her something very simple. What does being with him make you feel about yourself? She was stayed silent. There was a long pause. And she was really silent. I mean, not the kind of silence where someone is thinking, but the kind of silence where something is breaking open. And then she said, I feel chosen. So sometimes we don't hold on to people, we hold on to the feeling of finally being chosen. And when we explored further, we understood something very important. She grew up feeling invisible, attention came rarely, and Love felt uncertain. So when someone came into her life and made her feel seen, her system didn't just attach to him, it attached to a lifelong emotional hunger being fed. Now imagine this: letting go of that person doesn't just feel like losing them, it feels like losing the only place where you finally matter. Would you really expect yourself to let go easily if this was the only place you felt seen? I mean, this is the psychodynamic truth we are talking here. You're not holding onto a person, you're holding on to a story, a need, a wound trying to complete itself. And until that need is seen, letting go will feel like emotional starvation. Sometimes it's not even that you want them back, it's that something inside you hasn't finished feeling what it needed to feel. Get attached to people randomly. We get attached where something inside us says, this matter more than it should, but I don't know why. And sometimes we say things like, I just need closure. But if we are honest, if you're really hoping is one more moment, one more message, one more chance for things to feel different, some endings don't end properly. There are no clear goodbye, no final conversation, no emotional resolution, just silence, distance, disappearance. And the mind keeps going back, not because you're attached, but because it's still trying to make sense of what never made sense. Go a little deeper, because sometimes it's not even about what they gave you, it's about what they awakened in you. A client once said something very quietly, I still remember. I don't miss him, I miss who I was with him. What if you're not trying to hold on to them, but onto the version of you that only existed around them, as I said earlier, but probably into a different words? She described it like this: with him, I was expressive, I laughed more, I felt confident, alive, spontaneous. And now I feel like I have gone back to being small again. And there we need to understand something very profound. Sometimes people don't give us something new, they unlock something that was already within us but hidden. But the psyche fuses the two, so it feels like if I lose them, I lose the version of me. Pause for a moment. Is it really them you miss, or who you became in their presence? This is not just heartbreak, this is grief for your unlived self. There is a quiet mourning here, not just for relationship, but for the version of life that almost happened. Maybe just ask yourself gently, what parts of me did I only allow to exist in that relationship? Was I softer, more expressive, less guarded? I have also heard during my therapy sessions, and sometimes clients say, I don't know how to be that person anymore. And that's where the real works begin. Because now you're not just healing a relationship, you are reclaiming part of yourself that you unknowingly gave away. Letting go then is not losing those parts, needing to become their source. And letting go then become terrifying because it asks you to become the version of yourself on your own. And that's really hard. Let's take another perspective here. When we come to the body, because this is where logic fails, a client once told me, I know it's toxic. He disappears, comes back, I mean, comes back, disappears again. I feel anxious all the time. But when he texts, I feel relief. And consistency makes you more attached. This is not love alone, this is conditioning. And this pattern is really powerful because your nervous system become addicted not to the person but to the relief after distress. So what happens here? You feel anxious, which leads to their return, which leads to relief. You felt abandoned, then they show care, and then you feel relief. So your brain wires this as this person regulates me. So when you try to let go, your body reacts like it's losing something essential. And that's why you check phone repeatedly, you replay conversations, you feel physical heaviness. And then you think, maybe I still love them. But sometimes what you're feeling is not love, it's withdrawal. And withdrawal can feel like restlessness, emotional craving, sudden wave of longing, even physical discomfort. This is why you may find yourself thinking, message, just one conversation, not because you don't know better, but because your system is trying to return to regulation. During the session, I often share it with my clients that your urge to go back is not a failure. It is a signal that your body hasn't yet learned a new sense of safety. And healing here is not forcing yourself to detach, it's slowly teaching your nervous system that I can feel safe even without this person. So, if it makes sense to you guys, those who are listening to me and sitting with me right now, just for a moment, I want you to close your eyes if you can. Of course, you're not supposed to be driving while you're listening. And gently bring to mind the person or situation you're finding hard to let go of. Notice what you feel in your body, not the story, just the feeling. Where do you feel it? Chest, in your throat, in your stomach? Just stay with it without trying to change it. Sometimes what feels like missing them is actually the absence of emotional connection. And in that emptiness, the mind goes back to the last place it remembers feeling something. Now let's step back, kind of thing, and try to see when someone becomes important in your life, they don't just stay external, they become the part of your internal world as well. So you are not just losing a person, You're losing a version of your life that felt real because if I'm saying they become a part of your internal world, that means they hold your routine, your emotional rhythm, your imagined future. So when they are gone, they don't just feel sad. I mean, when they are gone, you just don't feel sad. You feel lost. This is why you feel empty, because something inside is reorganizing itself. About it. How many small things in your day were connected to them? Message, Messages rather, I'll say, routines, plans, emotional check ins, so many other things. And now those spaces feel empty. Not because your life is empty, but because those spaces are waiting to be redefined. I've often heard by my clients, I mean, they say that I don't know what to do with my time anymore. And I tell them gently, this is not emptiness, this is a space. And a space, while feel uncomfortable, is where new identity begin to form. And here is something that might feel uncomfortable to hear sometimes. We don't struggle to let go because we love deeply. We struggle because we abandoned ourselves in the process. So now it is difficult for us to just be with us. Let's be very honest here. Sometimes we don't hold on because it's right, we hold on because it's familiar. And familiar pain often feels safer than unfamiliar peace. Because the unknown asks, who will I be now? Or what if nothing better comes? Or what if I made a mistake? And the mind prefers known pain over unknown freedom. Because known pain, as I was saying, at least gives you a sense of control. You know how it begins, you know how it ends, and you know how to survive it. But the unknown asks something else. Can you trust life without guarantee? I'm remembering something while I'm talking. A client once said, what if I let go and nothing better comes? And I remember I gently asked him, what if something better cannot come because you haven't let go yet? There are actually two parts of you right now. One part that knows, and one part that is still hopes. And the knowing part says, this is not right for me. The hoping part whispers, but what if it changes? And the real exhaustion comes from living between these two voices. Sometimes holding on is not protecting you, it is quietly preventing your next chapter. Maybe ask yourself this very honestly in trying to hold on to them. Where did I let go of myself? What did I ignore, tolerate, or silence within me? At the deepest level, this is not about them. The real reason letting go feels hard is because it's asked you to become someone new. Being asked to meet your unmet needs, sit with yourself, build internal safety, and that is the real work. Letting go is not something you do, Maybe it's something what happens when holding on no longer feels necessary. So you are not just losing them, you are meeting yourself in a way you never have before. And this meeting is not always comfortable because now there is no distraction, no external anchor, and no emotional substitute. Now it becomes about sitting with your own silence, understanding your own patterns, and becoming emotionally available to yourself. I often say the question is no longer why did they not choose me? It becomes how do I begin choosing myself in ways I never have? Letting go is not rejection, believe me. I've heard the narratives so many times with so many people. It is realignment, a place where your emotions are allowed, your needs are acknowledged, your worth is not negotiated. Because when you finally feel held within yourself, you stop trying to hold on to what cannot hold you back. And maybe that's what letting go really is, not losing something, but no longer needing to hold it so tightly. So maybe don't rush to let go, instead, ask what part of me is still holding on and why? And slowly, gently become a place within yourself that feels safer than what you're trying to release. You don't have to force yourself to let go today. You just have to stop abandoning what you feel. And slowly, what you're holding on to will begin to loosen on its own if you are still hold on. Maybe don't ask, how do I let go? Ask, what I'm afraid will happen if I actually do. One day letting go won't feel like loss, it will feel like truth. You don't have to share this with anyone immediately. You don't have to explain yourself. But maybe today you can stop explaining your feelings to yourself. And maybe the reason is so hard because this wasn't just about them, it was about a part of you that is not ready to be seen differently. Maybe letting go is not something you do, maybe it's something that happens when holding on no longer feels necessary. Thank you for spending time with me today. This has been from the Therapy Room, Psychology of Mind and Body. If this resonates with you, you can share what you felt or noticed. I would love to hear your reflections. And if you find this conversation meaningful, please follow or subscribe to this podcast and feel free to share it with someone who might need to hear it. So these spaces of reflection can continue to be a part of your journey. Until next time, take care of your mind, your body, and the quiet spaces within you. See you next time, and I'll be sitting next beside you. Take care.